Chelsea dropping points again tonight, 1-0 up against Brighton till the 91st minute, 1-1. That's 11 points. They've dropped from leading positions this season, the same as all of last season. Let's see how their manager, Thomas Tuchel, saw it.
Thomas, it was a great game for us to watch as a neutral, but how frustrating for you not to come away with 3 points after going a goal up?
Very frustrating, of course, very disappointing, because we gave everything. We have enough big chances to decide the match, and it was a very intense match. We need another 2 changes because of injury. So, like in the dressing room, they're like completely exhausted. It's the same subject every single match day now. And we have a horrible decision from the referee. It's a clear penalty for 2-0. Not even checked, so everything against us.
What were your thoughts on their goal? Did Danny Welbeck just get a little bit too much space?
There's no space for him. There are 2 defenders, there's no space.
What do you think specifically went wrong, perhaps in the second half, to let them get back into the game? Because we saw after half-time there was a lot more energy from them bringing the game to you.
Yeah, of course, we have 2 injuries. Again, we play with the last drop. We have players on who need normally to be out after 60 minutes. That's the point, nothing else.
We saw Reece James come off. What's the prognosis on that? Do you know yet?
No prognosis, hamstring injury.
And just looking ahead to that Liverpool game on Sunday, crucial.
No need to look ahead against Liverpool. We can try to find players who are ready to play, and then we have no more wing-backs. We have everybody injured, and players come back from COVID situation, and we're playing, and I will always protect my players, and first of all we need to now to digest this and not talk about next game.
Thanks, Thomas.
The frustration's building. Over the last 10 games, Manchester City have picked up 13 more points than Chelsea. You can understand this frustration there, Glenn?
Yeah, I understand his frustration, but I think he's got to come out and be a bit more positive about that. I think, one for me, second half, Brighton, he's got to give Brighton some credit there. It was all about Chelsea and this and that. But Brighton, second half, you've got to say they were a better team. They had Chelsea pinned in, and it was Chelsea that were breaking and trying to counter. They didn't have any type of control of the second half, Chelsea, at all. Yes, he's picked up injuries, and I understand the COVID scenarios that he's on about, but that's frustrating as a manager. But it is what it is. There's other teams having exactly the same problems, and you've got to cope and get on with it. And I think that's the first time we've seen him a little bit really raggled after a game. And it is easy when you keep winning and you're playing well your team. It's easy to smile and be nice and everything, but now's the moment of the test for Tuchel, actually. He's done a fabulous job since he's been at Chelsea, of course he has, but now is the biggest test for him and his squad, because at the moment they're not in control of football matches.
Oh, let's remind ourselves of the story of the night then. They took the lead, Romelu Lukaku. Brighton were unhappy about this, but we cleared this up at half-time, Michael.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with this goal. You have to try to defend it. You can't just switch off and not look at the ball, as we see Lukaku highlighted. Then there's the 2 blockers. And watch number 9, Mopé. He has no intention whatsoever. Glenn made the point at half-time that he feels that this should be more of a zonal setup. But then Mopé just doesn't look at all, and I've got no sympathy whatsoever for him here, getting a little arm in the face. Glenn, you've mentioned a few times about the lack of players on posts as well now.
On that back post, I mean, there's so many corners. You see Lukaku's second header in 2 games, you know, that's what Chelsea have gained now with him back in the team, that power in the air. And you're right, Michael, you know, Mopé has just not looked at the ball, but you put a guy on the back post and you save goals. There's no doubt about it. Not just Brighton there. Lots of clubs you see it that it's not done, and so many goals, as my experience as a player and a manager, so many goals end up from corners in that back post.
Talking of headers, you played with Danny Welbeck. Did you see him score many with his head over the years?
Do you know what? Danny is a fabulous player. I think probably underachieved in his career for the ability he has. Of course, he's picked up injuries. But he literally can do anything. He's very, very skillful, quick, strong, got a great touch. He can score in the air. I mean, this is a fabulous header. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, he gets in between 2 defenders, out-muscles, out-powers, and that is not an easy finish. Brilliant.
Yeah, fabulous technique with his head there. He just gets... Hey, listen, He's not got space there, has he? He's actually sandwiched by the two defenders. But he rises above and he's on the line for it, and he doesn't flick his head. He doesn't try and make power with it. He's just guided it into the corner. That's what I was impressed with the header. And Graham Potter felt, and they deserved it. Second half, I've got to say, I thought they were excellent. They came out on the front foot. The midfield started to dictate the play. And I think in the end, now that was a late equaliser. That's where Tuchel was probably really upset about it. They deserved it.
OK, now you heard Thomas Tuchel say for 1-0, they were denied a clear penalty on Pulisic. You've had a look at it. Do you agree with him?
No, I don't think it's clear at all. I think he actually loses control of the ball. The ball's sort of behind him. And I think there's a touch that, yes, there is. But look at the ball here. It's bouncing off his heel. He's not in control of it at all. Now, there is a touch there. But again, I don't think it's enough to bring him down. I would err on the side of no penalty on that.
Yeah, I think if he's gone on the outside and you're thinking, he would have been hitting that with his left foot, you know, but he's left the ball behind and there's a slight touch there. But these are the small margins. It's not clear and obvious that was a penalty.
Now, this 8-point gap, having played the same number of games, retrievable in any way, shape or form for you, for Chelsea?
Well, I think we'd all like to think so, because of the Premier League is such a wonderful, wonderful league, and we want it to go right to the wire, if we're honest. But I just can't see, not because of what Chelsea might do, it's what City will do is the problem. That's the hiccup. Chelsea have got to go to the Etihad and win, and they've still got to be in the hunt when they go. And I can't see that happening. I really can't. I think City have earned the right to say it's not their league yet. There's a lot of games to be played, a lot of points to be won, but you just don't see City losing. They might lose one, but you can't see them losing 2 games.
Well, Chelsea's next 2 are Liverpool at home and Manchester City away. I mean, they are absolutely massive now in the context of this season.
Well, you'd have to think they've got to get 4 points out of those 2. Otherwise, I think they can probably be the first team out of the big 3 to drop out of contention. Liverpool are sat there a point behind, but they have got a game in hand. That game, it's at Stamford Bridge, isn't it? The Liverpool-Chelsea game.
January the 2nd, yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow, that could be almost an eliminator. I still think if Liverpool lose that one, I still think they're very capable of going on a run like Manchester City are. I don't think Chelsea can afford any more slip-ups now. I think they need 4 points out the next 2.
And the other point we should make as well, as Thomas Tuchel was alluding to, Christensen off tonight, Reece James hamstring, Thiago Silva already out. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. They're depleted. They're not going to City or, with a full squad, or Liverpool. They're not going to be able to have a full... They've got a semi-final. They've got to deal with the League Cup as well, sneaked in between.
2 legs.
2 legs. So they've got it full on. They're going to have to play back-to-back same games, if you see what I mean. The energy will be sapping as well. Doesn't look like that any of those injuries are coming. Maybe Thiago Silva might be coming back, but they look like they're sort of longish term injuries.
For the season as well, of course, Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, Chilwell as well. So they are at full stretch.